So this is my pretest on chemistry B. Okay, so here use this diagram to answer the following questions. So here I can see some lines are connected. So there are dash carbon atoms in the parent chain. It is called dash. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, I think it's 9, and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. I am going for this 9 decane. Next question is, numbering of this molecule will begin at carbon dash alpha beta gamma epsilon delta. Okay, alpha beta delta epsilon. So numbering of which molecule will begin at carbon? So I'm not sure about the answer, but I am marking it as, so I am marking it as delta. Okay. Using this information along with the previous diagram to answer the following 5 questions. Consider possible branches at carbon X, Y, and Z. The branches at carbon Y is or are called methyl or ethyl, propyl, methyl, 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 butyl. So the branches at carbon Y. So here, yes, Y. It have only one strand. So I think I will go for propyl. Yeah. Which carbons can only make one more bond? X and Y. Then what are the options? X and Z, X and Z, Y and Z. So it is Y and Z. All of them can make only one more. So I think option B, X and Z. X and Z. Which carbon is able to make two more bond? I'm not sure. X, Y, two more bond. X, Y, Z. I think I will go for X. X, Y, and Z. None of the above. I think it's none of the above is the answer. Okay. So, what is the IUPAC name of this molecule? IUPAC name of molecule is so IUPAC name, I am not sure, but I am writing it as methyl butane. I'm not sure. The addition of a methyl group onto carbon dash and dash would add an extra side chain. The addition of methyl group onto carbon dash and dash. So it is, mm, let's see the options: alpha, beta, alpha, gamma, alpha, delta, epsilon, delta, tau. So let's check the image once again. So for this, first option is alpha and beta. Alpha and beta. Okay. Second option is alpha and gamma. Alpha and gamma. Then e delta and epsilon. Okay, delta and epsilon. Last one is delta and 2. So I think delta and epsilon is the answer. Delta and epsilon. The addition of a methyl group onto carbon dash and dash would add an extra side chain. Okay. Next is, which of the following molecule is not an organic molecule? Carbon dioxide, methoxide, chloroform, dichloromethane. So molecule which is not an organic material is methoxide is not an answer. I think chloroform is also not an answer. Chloroform, dichloromethyl. So carbon dioxide. So I think methoxide is the answer, because organic molecule means it should contain carbon. So here we can see carbon, here also carbon, and carboxide is carbon dioxide is also have carbon. So let's go for methoxide. How many valences electron are present in methane? Methane contain how many valence electron? Valence electron, the options 4, 6, 8, 10. I think 4 or 6. 10 is not the answer. The question is how many valence electron are present in methane. So 10 is not the answer. I will go for 8. Now the next question is, which element has the same number of electrons as methane has valence electron? So which element have the same number of electrons as methane has valence electron? Beryllium, carbon, oxygen, neon. So I think oxygen. I will go for oxygen. Okay. Next is, which of the following functional group is most likely to taste sour? ROH, RCOOH, RX, RCOOR dash. So I will go for RX. RX. Can you answer to the previous question? Participate in hydrogen bonding. Why or why not? So can you answer to the previous question? Participate in hydrogen bonding. Why or why not? I am not sure about this answer, so I will mark it as nil. Okay. Which molecule will have the lowest boiling point? So, lowest boiling point HCOOH, CH4, HCOOCH3, CH3Cl. Lowest boiling point, I think it is this one, HCOOCH3. How many hydrogen atoms does an alkyne with n carbon atom have? How many hydrogen atom does an alkene with n carbon atom has? So it is 2 2n minus 2 or 2n plus 2. Okay, it is 2n minus 2. Okay. Use this information to answer the following 5 questions. So here molecule is given, molecule name and boiling point. Diethyl ether 34.6 degrees Celsius, methyl cyclopentane 72 degrees Celsius, methanoic acid 100.8 degrees Celsius, decanoic acid 269 degrees Celsius. Which molecule can partake in dipole-dipole interaction? Diethyl ether only, diethyl ether and methanoic acid, diethyl ether, methanoic acid and decanoic acid, or all of them? So I think I will go for all of them. I will go for all of them. Next question is, assume each substance is a liquid at room temperature. Which of these molecules can mix with tetrafluoromethane CFH? Options are diethyl ether. Okay, so these 4 all are options. Tetrafluoromethane. Okay, CF4. Okay, so I am marking it as methanoic acid. Okay. Why can they mix with CF4? So due to its unstability. Despite that methanoic acid has much fewer carbon atoms than methyl cyclopentane, its boiling point is much higher. Why? Methanoic acid can participate in hydrogen bonding. Methanoic acid has oxygen atom. Oxygen atom increases boiling point. Methyl cyclopentane is symmetrical and methanoic acid is not. Methyl cyclopentane is branched and methanoic acid is not. So I think methyl acid have hydrogen. Okay, yes, methyl oxygen atom. So okay, I will go for methanoic acid has oxygen atom and oxygen atom increases boiling point. Okay. What would you expect propanol to place in this list between diethyl ether and methyl cyclopentane, between methyl cyclopentane and metanoic acid, between methanoic acid and decanoic acid, below decanoic acid. Propanol will below decanoic acid. I am not sure. So here also we have some questions. Use this diagram to answer the following 4 questions. Okay. The addition of a methyl group to which carbon would not produce a molecule with a side chain. The addition of a methyl group to which carbon would not produce a molecule with a side chain. Alpha, beta, gamma, all of them would produce a molecule with a side chain. So I think option D is the correct answer. The addition of a methyl to which carbon would produce the same molecule. Alpha and beta, beta and gamma, all additions produces the same molecule. How many valence electrons are present in this molecule? So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 5 is the answer. What is the maximum number of propyl group that can be added to carbon alpha? 0, 1, 2, 3. What is the maximum number of propyl group? I think it is 1. Or it is, let's check. 1, 2, yeah, it is 1. The electrons in a benzene molecule are not fixed on one atom. They are dash. The electron in a benzene molecule is not fixed on one atom. They are, no, I am not sure. They are carbon atoms. A neutral dye has been discovered. It is polar. It does not have any natural odor or color without the experience of another chemicals. In the lab, you are presented with 5 vials that may contain the compounds. How will you attempt to detect this presence? Add orange dye. Artificial orange dye will absorb into component. Add water. A polar compound will readily dissolve in water. Titrate using HCl. HCl will decrease the pH past 7. This indicates the presence of acid. Titrate using NaOH. NaOH will neutralize the solution. So I think we will add orange dye. Artificial orange dye will absorb into the components. So submitting the form and I will view score. Okay, only 4 out of 25 was correct. Okay, so let's check. There are dash carbon in the parent chain. It is called dash. Okay, so let's check. There are dash carbon atom in the parent chain. So it is correct answer is 9. No, 9. So we can check on the Gemini how to know the number of or how to count the yeah, how to count the number of carbon atom in a figure. Okay. Okay. How to count carbon atoms from a figure. Okay, so counting carbon atom is in a chemical figure is a fundamental skill in chemistry essential for the understanding the structure and properties of molecule. Okay, the method for counting these atoms depend on the type of the structural representation being used. Here is the breakdown. Okay, so functional full structural formulas. Levy structure. In the full structural formula, also known as Levy structure, all atoms and bonds are explicitly drawn out. This is the most straightforward representation for counting atoms. Simply identify and count each C with represent carbon atom. Okay, so here from a figure of lines, how to calculate the number of carbon atoms. Okay. So here to count the carbon, there are two end of lines. There are three vertices. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the total number of carbon atom is 5. So as per this figure, it will be what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so I think this 9, no, 9 is the right one. Okay. Okay, now the next question is number of this molecule will begin at numbering of this molecule will begin at carbon. It is epsilon. Okay, so it is start from epsilon, not delta. Okay, so using the information along with the previous diagram to answer the following 5 questions. The branches at carbon Y is called methyl and ethyl. Okay, it is methyl and ethyl. This propyl is the wrong one. Okay. Which carbon can only make one more bond? So which is X and Z is I have selected, but it is Y and Z. So this Y and Z is the correct answer. Okay. So which carbon is able to make two more bonds? So it is X, with the X able to make two more bonds. Okay. Okay. Mm. Next is what is, yeah, which carbon is able to make two more bonds? It is X. None of the above is wrong answer. What is the IUPAC name of this molecule? So, what is this IUPAC name? Let's search for that. What do you mean by IUPAC rule on naming straight chain alkalines? Okay. Okay, it is IUPAC. Okay, IUPAC. Okay, so uh, IUPAC rule for naming straight chain alkynes is the system that uses a specific prefix to indicate the number of carbon atoms in the chain, followed by suffix /ane. Core component of the rule is the naming convention is broken out down into two main parts. Okay, prefix and suffix. Prefix is this part of the name tell you the exact number of carbon atom present in the continuous chain. For the first four alkynes, the prefixes are historical. So it is made, eighth, prop, but, etc. For the five carbon onwards, Greek numerical prefixes are used. Okay. Now what does the suffix means? For all alkynes, the name end with the suffix "ane". This signifies that the molecule is an alkaline, meaning it only contains single bond between the carbon atom. So for example, if the carbon atom is 1, it is methyl, 2, it is ethine, propyne, butene, pentene, hexane, heptene, octane, 9, decyne. Okay, so this is how this IUPAC name look like. Okay, so now we have which of the following, so we have done with the IUPAC name. The next question is, here we have got wrongest. The addition of methyl group onto carbon dash and dash would add an extra side chain. So this is, I think, delta and 2 is the correct answer. This was wrong. Delta and 2 is the correct answer. Okay. Now the next question is, which of the following molecule is not an organic molecule? So carbon dioxide was the correct answer. Methoxide is not the right one. It is carbon dioxide is the right answer. Okay, so we can search the molecules which are not organic molecules. How to search it? Molecules which are not the organic. Generally, a molecule is considered inorganic if it does not contain both carbon and hydrogen. Okay, so these are the characteristics of the inorganic molecule. So absence of carbon hydrogen bond, this is the most common defining feature. For example, water H2O contain hydrogen but no carbon, so it is inorganic. So simple structure, inorganic molecule often have similar structure compared to the complex chains and rings formed by organic molecules. Presence of metals, many inorganic compounds like salt include metal atoms. Here are some common examples of molecules that are not organic. Okay, so here carbon dioxide is there. So carbon dioxide, water, carbon monoxide, salt, acid and bases, carbonate, cyanides, allotropes of carbon. So these all come under inorganic or not organic things. Okay. How many valence electrons are present in methane? Yes, it is 8, which is correct. Now, which element has the same number of electrons as methane has valence electron? So oxygen. So this is also correct. Which of the following functional group is mostly like to taste sour? So let's ask this to the Gemini so that okay, we can ask this question to Gemini. Yes, the functional group more likely to taste sour is RCOOH. This is a functional group of carboxylic acid. Okay, so the sour taste with us we associated with food like lemons and vinegar is due to the presence of acid which release hydrogen ion H plus in the solution. The COOH group readily donate a proton, making the molecule acidic. Okay, so this ROH, the first option ROH, it is an alcohol, generally neutral. RX is alkaline halides, so do not have the characteristics of the sour taste. Next, RCOOR dash are typically associated with sweet and fruity smells and taste. Okay, so here the answer is RCOOH. Okay. Next one is, can you answer to the previous question, participate in hydrogen bonding? Um, why and why not? So, okay, so yes, there is hydrogen bonded to an oxygen. So that may be the reason. Can you answer to the previous question, participate in hydrogen bonding? Why or why not? Okay, so it is yes, there is a hydrogen bond to an oxygen. Which molecule will have the lowest boiling point? It is CH4 is the correct answer. Okay, so okay, CH4 is the right answer. How many hydrogen atom does an alkaline with n carbon atom have? So let's ask this question also to Gemini. So okay. It is 2n plus 2. Yes, 2n plus 2 is the right answer. This is the explanation. So in the explanation, let's check the explanation. This is the general chemical formula for all alkanes. Alkanes are saturated, okay, meaning each carbon atom is bonded to the maximum number of atom possible, that is 4, through single bond. Okay, so in a straight chain, each of the n carbons is bonded to 2 hydrogen, which accounts for the 2n part of the formula. Okay, the 2 carbon at the very ends of the chain each needs one additional hydrogen to complete their 4 bonds. Okay, so which is plus 2. So for example, methane 4 hydrogen, ethane 6 hydrogen, octane it is 18 hydrogen. The other option representing the different types of hydrocarbons are 2n minus 2. Okay, so 2n, and that is alkanes and alkynes. Alkanes and alkynes. So answer is 2n plus 2. Okay, now use this information to answer the following 5 questions. So let's take a screenshot of this. Okay, which molecule can partake in dipolar interaction? So let's ask this question to Gemini. Okay, okay, okay. Dipolar interaction occur between polar molecules that having permanent net dipolar moment due to an uneven distribution of this electron density. Okay, so diethyl ether, this molecule has a bent shape around the central oxygen atom because oxygen is more electronegative than carbon. Okay, so this polar CO bond create a net dipole moment, making the molecule this polar. Okay, metanoic acid, here what happened is metanoic acid is the, yes, so here the carboxyl acid group is higher polar due to the carbon oxygen double bond and oxygen hydrogen bond, OH bond. So this make them entirely a molecule polar. Decanoic acid, like methanoic acid, it has a very polar carboxylic acid head group which give the molecule a net dipole moment. Okay, next is assume each substance in the liquid at room temperature. Which of these molecule can be mixed with tetrafluoromethane? Okay, so let's ask this question also to Gemini. We can add the image also. Methyl cyclopentane is the right answer. Yes. Gemini again give the right answer because explanation is tetrafluoromethane is non-polar, although the carbon fluorine bond are polar. The molecule has a perfectly symmetrical tetrahedral shape, which cause the individual bond dipoles to cancel each other out. Okay, so methyl cytopentane is also non-polar, as a hydrogen carbon is consist only of carbon and hydrogen atoms. Okay, so it is also non-polar. Now uh, the other so these two are not the answer. Next is diethyl ether is polar molecule due to its blend shape and polar CO bond. Methanoic acid and decanoic acid are both highly polar. Why? Because of their carboxylic acid, this one, which can form strong hydrogen bonds. Okay, so the answer is methyl cyclopentane. Okay, now the next question is, why can they mix with CF4? So my answer was due to its unstability, but the answer is methyl cyclopentane only has London dispersion force. So what is this London dispersion force? Let's check in the Gemini. What is London dispersion forces? Yes. So London dispersion force are weak temporary attractive force that exists between all atoms and molecule. They are the weakest type of intermolecular force. Okay, how they work? Instantaneous dipoles. At any given moment, the electron cloud of a molecule can be unevenly distributed. They create a temporary instantaneous dipole, a fleeting region of slight negative charge, that is delta negative, and slight positive charge, delta positive. Next is induced dipoles. So the temporary dipole in one molecule can then induce a similar dipole in a neighboring molecule by attracting or repelling its electrons. Okay. Next is attraction. A weak electrostatic attraction then occur between the slightly positive end of one molecule and slightly negative end of its neighbor. Okay. So the factors affecting strength is molar mass and surface area. Okay. So now, despite the methanoic acid has much fewer carbon atoms than the methyl cyclopentane, its boiling point is much higher. Why? So we can ask this question to Gemini. Okay. Okay, so the correct reason is that methanoic acid can participate in hydrogen bonding. Okay, so here gives the explanation because boiling point is determined by the strength of the intermolecular force. the force that hold molecule together. Okay, so to boil a liquid, enough energy must be supplied to overcome these forces. So um, methyl cyclopentane is a non-polar hydrocarbon. The only intermolecular force it experiences are relatively weak London dispersion force. Okay. Next is methanoic acid. On the other hand, has a hydrogen atom bonded to a highly electronegative oxygen atom. This allows it to form hydrogen bond, which are strongest type of intermolecular force. Okay. Even though methanoic acid is much smaller molecule, the immense strength of its hydrogen bond requires significantly more energy to overcome compared to the weak dispersion force in the methyl cyclopentane. This results in its much higher boiling point. Okay. Use this diagram to answer the following four questions. So for this question it is correct. The addition of methyl group to which carbon would produce a molecule with the side chain. Okay, all of them. The addition of methyl to which carbon would produce the same molecule. Again, here it is correct. Okay, next here have another question. How many valence electrons are present in this molecule? So this is 38. How to find a valence electron? Okay, let's ask to Gemini. Using a diagram. Okay, so identify the outermost shell. Locate the largest outermost ring or energy level that contain electrons. Count the electrons. Okay. And so here is 38. What is the maximum number of propyl group that can be added in carbon alpha? It is 2. Okay. Okay, it is 2 is the answer. The electron in the benzene molecule are not fixed on one atom, they are delocalized. Okay. Here a neutral dye has been discovered. It is polar. It does not have any natural odor or color without the presence of another chemical. In the lab, you are presented with 5 vials that may contain the component. So how will you attempt to detect this presence? So we had to add water. A polar component will readily dissolve in the water. Okay, so this is the option B was the correct answer. Okay. Okay, now let us move on to chemistry A. Use this diagram to answer the following questions. There are dash carbon atoms in the parent chain. Okay, so they are called dash. R6 hexane. Number of this molecule will begin at carbon. Numbering of this molecule will begin at carbon. Beta. Okay. Use this information along with the previous diagram to answer the following 5 questions. Okay. So there are branches at carbon X, Y, and Z. Okay. So the branches at carbon X is called X, right? So here methyl and propyl. There is a type of branch that is common between carbon X and Z. What is it called? Um, what is it called? Let me check X and Z. Okay. Okay, so it is um, methyl. Which carbon is able to make another bond? I think Y is the right answer. What is the IUPAC name of this molecule? Okay, so IUPAC name of this molecule is me methyl methane. The addition of a methyl group on carbon dash would cause a change only to the name of the parent chain. Delta, yeah, delta. Which of the following molecule is not an organic molecule? Tetrafluoromethane, tetrabutoxide, hydrogen cyanide, benzene. I think this one is the right answer, which do not contain. Okay. How many valence electron are present in butane? It is 20. We have options 24, 26, 28, 30. So the answer is butane have, okay, options 24, 26, 28, 30. So 30 is not the answer. Yeah, 24 is also not the answer. So I think 26 is the, yeah, right one. 20. Okay, 26 is the right one. Which element has the same number of electron as butane has valence electron? Chromium, iron, nickel, zinc. It is iron. Okay, I will go for nickel. Which of the following functional group is most likely to emit a pleasant sweet smell? It is RCOOR dash. Yes. Okay. So the next question is, can you answer to the previous question, participation in hydrogen bonding? Why and why not? So okay, so okay, so this was nickel, this is this, here. Answer is yes. They are hydrogen bonded uh, to an oxygen. Okay, which molecule have the highest boiling point here? I think CH4. How many hydrogen electron does an alkali with n carbon atom has? It is 2n plus 2. 2n plus 2 is the right answer. Yes, I think so. Yeah. So which molecule have London dispersion? London dispersion force? Ethanol only, ethanol and 1 heptane. Ethanol, 1 heptane and ethanoic acid, all of them. So I will go for all of them. Okay. Assume each substance is a liquid at room temperature. Which of these molecules can mix with water? Mm, it is ethanol only, ethanol and ethanoic acid, 1 heptane only, 1 heptane and decane. So I think this ethanoic can mix with water, so ethanol only. Why can they mix with water? I am not sure, but I am it easily with but water because it's bonding. Okay. Despite that, decane does not have a permanent dipole. Its boiling point is much higher than ethanolic acid. Why? Decane can participate in dipolar-dipolar interaction. All molecules contain oxygen. Oxygen decreases boiling point, and decane is unstable at a straight chain and likely form a fused ring structure. Decane contains the most carbon atoms. Okay, so I will go for option A. Decane can participate in dipole-dipole interaction. Where would you expect methanol to place in this list? Okay, so where between ethanoic acid and decane. Ethanoic acid and decane. Okay. Use this diagram. Use this diagram to answer the following 4 questions. The addition of methyl group to which carbon would not produce a molecule with side chain? Alpha, beta, gamma. I think all of them. The addition of a methyl to the above carbon produces the same molecule. Yeah, all addition produces the same molecule. How many valence electrons are present in this molecule. So let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's 5. What is the maximum? Okay, it's no, I will go for 38. What is the maximum number of propyl groups that can be added to carbon? Alpha. So it is 0, 1, 2, 3. I think it's 2 is the right one. The electrons in the benzene molecule are not fixed on one atom. They are I think they are delocalized. Okay. An acidic flavor compound has discovered it naturally dissolved in an organic solvent, that is, it is not polar, it does not have any natural order or color. In the lab you are presented with 5 vials that may contain the flavored compound. How will you attempt to detect this presence? So it is acidic flavor, so I think I will add water, readily dissolved in the water. Yeah, so we can submit the form. Now we can view score. Okay, it is 11 out of 25, so which means I have improved. Okay, great job. Yeah, so where I got wrong, the numbering of this molecule occurs um, will begin at carbon. It is alpha, not beta. Okay, this is methyl and propyl. Okay, which of the following molecule is not an organic molecule? It is, okay, this one. Nickel is the correct answer. Nickel is not the correct answer. Iron is the correct answer. Okay. Atoms, they are not bonded to any hydrogen atom. Okay. So, which molecule have the highest boiling point? Okay. Yes. Ethanol. Here, assume each substance like a liquid at room temperature. Which of these molecule can mix with water? Ethanol and ethanoic acid. Okay, so here everything is correct. Only this one. Okay.